Mahabarivajan. I am Potato, your classmate. I was very happy to see him and shook his hand. Oh, Potato, I'm seeing you after 35 years. It has been so long that I didn't recognize you. Physically, both of us have changed so much. It's nice to meet you. Stay back. If you are here, come for dinner tonight. I want to catch up, I said. Sadly, Potato said, sorry, I don't have much time. I'm in the night shift. But I can have a cup of tea with you. We went to the hotel restaurant and ordered a cup of tea for him and juice for myself. I wanted to talk more. I started the conversation with great enthusiasm and could not hold my questions back. Potato, where are you working now? How long have you been in Dubai? Are you married? How many children do you have? By the way, how are your networking friends? Do you ever come to India? Potato stabbed me. I know your work involves computers, but mine does not. You're too fast for me, just like a computer, but I'm in construction. So bear with me since I am slow. I have been in Dubai for the last 5 years. Before that, I was in India, in several small places in different companies. Of course, I'm married. I have 2 daughters. I interrupted him. You could have brought them today. I would have liked to meet them. Sorry. I can't bring them because they are not here. I am in the lower level of management, so I cannot afford to bring my family here. My 2 daughters are studying in India and are doing engineering. I can't even afford the education in this place. I did not know what to say. I had never imagined Potato would end up like this. Now it was his turn to talk. Do you remember? When I was in college, I used to make fun of all of you. I spent all my time in networking after finishing engineering. I didn't get a good job. The reason was very obvious. I did not have the knowledge of the ability to work hard. I looked down upon the 2 qualities that are stepping stones to success. I knew that I wanted to go up and reach the top spot in a company, but no one can just fly there. I knew what position I should be in, but I did not know the route. I thought that the change of job would help, but instead it reduced my value in the market. None of my networking friends helped me. They dropped me like a hot potato. They thought that I was clinging on to them like a parasite. Some of them were like me and also looking for jobs. I always thought that I would come up with someone's help. I never thought that I should take my own help. Now I'm old. I'm trying to learn new things and make up for last time. But it's not easy. The market has become extremely competitive. Youngsters in college have more knowledge and quickness. They also have time on their side. I have told my daughters, you just study, get knowledge, learn skills, and work hard. Potato continued. Do you remember who said this to me? It was you. He looked at his watch and said, my time is up. I must leave. I wish him all the best. He walked a few steps, then came back and said, that day I called you a nerd. Today I call you smart. And he left. A life unwritten. It was the year 1943. My father was a young medical doctor posted at a small dispensary in a village known as Chandigarh, located on the border of the 2 states of Maharashtra and Karnataka. It rained continuously for 8 months there, and the only activity during the remaining 4 months was tree cutting. It was a lesser known and a thinly populated village surrounded by a thick and enormous forest. Since British officers camped to hunt in the jungle, a small clinic was set up there for their convenience. None of the villagers went there because they preferred using the local medicines and the plant. So there was nobody in the clinic except my father. Within a week of his transfer there, my father started getting bored. He was uprooted from the lively city of Pune to the slow and silent village where there seemed to be no people at all. He had no contact with the outside world. His only companion was the calendar on the wall. Sometimes he would go for a walk outside, but when he heard the roar of the tigers in the jungle nearby, he would get scared and walk back to the clinic as fast as he could. It was no wonder then that he was too afraid to step out at night because of the snakes that were often seen slithering on the ground. One winter morning, he heard heavy breathing outside his main door and bravely decided to peep through the window. He saw a tigress stretching and yawning in the veranda with her cubs by his side. Paralyzed with fear, my father did not open the door the entire day. On another day, he opened the window only to find snakes hanging from the roof in front of his house, almost like ropes. My father wondered if he was transferred to the village as a form of a punishment for something he may have done, but there was nothing that he could do to change the situation. One night, he finished an early dinner and began reading a book by the light of the kerosene lamp. It was raining heavily outside. Suddenly, he heard a knock on the door. Who could it be, he wondered. When he opened it, he saw 4 men wrapped in woolen wreaths with sticks in their hand. They said to him in Marathi, Dr. Sahib, take your bag and come with us immediately. My father barely understood the rustic Marathi. He protested, but the clinic is closed, and at the time, the men were in no mood to listen. They pushed him and loudly demanded that he accompany them. Quietly, my father picked up his bag and followed them like a lamb and to the bullock cart waiting for them. The pouring rain and the moonless light disoriented him, and while he didn't know where they were taking him, he sensed that the drive might take some time. Using all the courage he had left, he asked, where are you taking me? There was no reply. It was a few hours before they reached their destination and the bullock cart came to a complete halt. By the light of the kerosene lamp, somebody escorted them. My father noticed the paddy fields around him, and in the middle of it all he saw a house. The minute he set foot in the house, a female voice said, come, the patient is here in this room. For the first time since he had come to the village, my father felt that he could finally put his medical expertise to good use. The patient was a young girl, approximately 16 years old, and one lady was standing near the girl who was obviously in labor. My father turned pale. He went back to the other room and told her family, look, I have been trained in delivering a baby and I am a male doctor. You must call someone else. But the family refused to listen. That's not an option. You must do what needs to be done and we will pay you handsomely, they insisted. The baby may be delivered alive or dead, but the girl must be saved. My father pleaded with them, please, I am not interested in the money. Let me go now. The men came close, shoved him inside the patient's room and locked the door from outside. My father became afraid. He knew he had no choice. He had observed and assisted in a few deliveries under the guidance of his medical college professors, but nothing more. Nervously, he started recalling his limited past experience and theoretical knowledge as his medical instincts kicked in. There was no table in the room, so he signaled the old lady, who appeared to be deaf and dumb, to help him set up a makeshift table with sacks of paddy grounds around them. Then my father extracted a rubber sheet from his bag and laid it out neatly on top of the sacks. He asked the girl to lie down on it and instructed the old lady to boil water and sterilize instruments. By then, the contraction has passed. The girl was sweating profusely and the doctor even more. She looked at him with big, innocent, tearly eyes and slowly began, don't save me. I don't want to make it through the night. Who are you? I am the daughter of a big zamindar here, she said in a soft voice. The rain outside made it hard for him to hear her. Since there was no high school in our village, my parents let me study in a distant town. There I fell in love with one of my classmates. At first I didn't know that I was pregnant, but once I found it, I told the baby's father, who immediately ran away. By the time my parents learned of what had happened, it was too late to do anything. That's why they sent me here to his godforsaken place where nobody would find out. She stopped as a strong contraction hit her. After a few minutes, she said, Doctor, I am sure that once the baby is born, my family will kill the child and beat me violently. Then she gripped my father's arms as more tears gathered in her eyes. Please don't try to save the baby or me. Just leave me alone here and let me die. That's all I want. At first, my father didn't know how to respond. Then he said to her as gently as he could, I am a doctor, and I can't let a patient die. When I know that I can do something to save him or her, you mustn't discourage me from doing my duty. The girl fell silent. Mahabharivajal.